Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to 5 Minutes of Torah with the Beth Israel Rabbi. You're probably wondering, why am I surrounded by drums and a bima that looks completely different than the way it normally looks? That is because we have already prepared for our Purim spiel, which will take place this coming Saturday night, followed by our Megillah reading. Every year, we are so lucky to have Jonathan Berkowitz put together with an incredibly talented group of people a fabulous Purim spiel. And I know that this year, a spiely night in Canada will be absolutely no different. It is going to be fantastic. This coming Shabbat is a special Shabbat. It is a Shabbat known as Shabbat Zechor, the Shabbat of remembrance. This is a Shabbat in which we are commanded to remember what the Amalekites tried to do to us in our Maftir reading. And it is actually obligatory on every single Jew to come to synagogue this Shabbat in order to hear that Maftir reading. We read that particular reading because it is the Shabbat before Purim. And we are commanded to remember not only what the Amalekites did to us, but that is then associated with Haman and what he tried to do to us. And therefore, we are commanded not only to remember the potential destruction of the Jewish people, but we are commanded to remember our survival as well, and to celebrate that. And that is exactly why we have the holiday of Purim, and celebrate with good food, and with reading the Megillah, and of course, with a fabulous Purim spiel. That's why we laugh, and that is why we are joyous on Purim. One of the aspects, though, of the Megillah that is important to remember is that Queen Esther spent a significant time in the Persian palace. And the rabbis actually asked the question, was it possible for Queen Esther to eat kosher food in the Persian palace? And they say, technically, no. But Queen Esther was able to sneak her own food in through the back door in order to make sure that she ate kosher food. Kashrut is incredibly important to the Jewish people. It is one of the core values that connects us to God and has held us together as a Jewish people over the course of thousands of years. The laws of Kashrut begin in the Torah and then progress throughout time, through the rabbinic period. Unfortunately, in times of distress, we have seen governments that have tried to prevent the Jewish people from eating kosher food, such as, according to the rabbis, Queen Esther in Persia, the Nazis, and unfortunately, even today, here in Canada, our own government is making shechita, kosher slaughter, more and more difficult, to the point that we are already at the tipping point that we may no longer be able to get kosher meat that is grown and shechted here in Canada. This is becoming very, very difficult. And I have to ask, does it just start with kosher meat and go from there? This is an extremely concerning point of Jewish history here in Canada. Please see a recent article by my old friend, Eric Grossman, from the Times of Israel, and a statement that has been placed in the public by CIJA. Please note that CIJA and the community, the Jewish community, are already working hard on this. But please join them by writing your MP and making sure that we do all that we can to save kashrut and to save the Jewish people here in Canada. I look forward to celebrating Purim with you on Saturday night here at Beth Israel. And in multiple ways, Shabbat Shalom and Chag Sameach.